What's up, guys? We're back again. Thanks for joining us. So today we're going to talk about
3 things that we can't live without.
3 things we can't live without. It could be beauty edition, which would make sense. So I think we need to stay in that lane.
I feel like my top 3 things that I cannot live without are concealer, foundation,
Yeah, you are a stickler.
and a good lip.
Okay. Mine are mascara, brows,
Oh, wait. Oh, my
and
gosh.
lashes.
Wait, hold on. I go back. Concealer, brow, and a good foundation. Everything
now
else is like...
now I'm like
I feel like
foundation.
3 things. I don't know. Is it? Do you think it's really 3 things?
What are, like, if you had to pick for the rest of your life 3 items that you would use every single day, what would they be? Because, I mean, that's it. There's no shopping at a store. There's no Sephora. Like, these are your items. That's it.
I feel like brows. Yeah.
Brows.
Brows for sure. Nobody needs to see
Anastasia
that.
brow
Yes.
is.
Brows. Foundation, because I feel like without it, you feel naked.
Even as you're getting older, because you have no other options, because you only have 3 options.
And
Probably lips.
a lip, right?
I think so.
I mean, I just think that when you go as hard as we do, I mean, it's never just a brow.
No.
No. It's brow.
I mean,
it's foundation. It's
we need
fake
more than
lashes.
3.
It's right. I feel like for us, it's like 5 or 6 things.
I know. I mean, I feel like foundation probably 2 now. I'm like changing my mind.
See, it's like should
It's
it be
too
3?
hard. I don't know. 5.
I think it's really like 5.
I don't know.
It's 5.
It's 5.
Brow, foundation, concealer,
I mean, we're gonna
And
want a
that's
lash
lip?
eventually. Yeah, lip. Oh my
and a
god.
good setting powder.
What do you think that brides would need to have if you had to pick items for them? Like, if you were like, here, this is what you would need on a daily basis, taking from like your wedding day into everyday life, what would you suggest that they would have? Because I feel like a lot of our brides don't really know like how to do makeup, which is why they're hiring us, or they're hiring us because they want to be camera ready.
Right.
But most of the time they're like, oh, I just wear Burt's Bees and
I mean,
clear
I think
mascara.
That is like the problem is that like I feel like most of our clientele is chapstick,
Burt's Bees brides.
Burt's Bees brides. It's like
Burt's Bees
very
brides.
minimal. Say that 3 times fast.
Burt's Bees brides.
I feel like they don't wear makeup.
I
so
know.
It's like kind of hard. I feel like, are we talking about our brides that
Do you ever
a full
feel-
face beat or
Do you ever feel like when you're doing their makeup that they're like looking at you like, God, you have a lot of makeup on?
all the time?
I feel like
All
that.
the time.
I feel like they're like looking
I
at
mean,
me.
not so much when I'm doing hair because I feel like they're turned. So like they're not,
Yeah.
it's not, but I feel
a
like
saving
doing
grace.
makeup, I like literally like you
I
like
know.
turn around to grab something and you turn back around
and they're like, no, or like when they're like,
why are you? It's like I don't need
stop
you.
staring at
And
me.
it's like in my mind, and
I
this is
know.
completely irrational, but in my mind, I'm like they're looking at my pores.
I know. And you're like this, you're just like, la, 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 la. And then they're like, and sometimes I'm like, maybe they're not looking at me, but then I'm like, no, they are, because they're like,
Yes, and it's like the first person. It's like you don't really care that much because it's like your makeup is still fresh. But by the
Right.
end of the day, it's like I am a grease pit.
oh my God.
Nobody needs to see that.
Do you ever
I have
like make
chunky
eye
lips.
contact with them?
Yes.
When you make eye contact-
I avoid making eye
So do
contact.
I.
Literally avoid it.
I pretend I don't see it, but then I'm like, then you make eye contact and they're looking at you and you're looking at them and I'm like, this is very close. Like, I feel like we are very close.
It's very close.
It's very awkward. And then I'm like, are they judging? Like, because sometimes,
You know, in my mind, I'm like, they're not.
Right.
I'm like, listen.
No, sometimes-
if it was me,
You would be
totally
judging. I know.
I would.
or like they'll make a comment like, can you just make sure that my under eye doesn't crease? And I'm like, are they saying that because
And I'm
mine
like,
is
they just
creasing?
looked at my
They
eyes
just look at
and
my
it's
under eyes.
creasy.
That's what I feel like.
Or they're like, do I need like something for my lips? Or do they look dry? And I'm like, oh my God,
God,
my
I
lips
look
are
crusty.
chunky.
I
They're
know.
chunky.
That's
Can we like develop something that gets rid of lip chunk? You guys, I know you know what I'm talking about. Like literally,
where it looks like you've been sucking on a tailpipe.
on a
It's not good.
tailpipe. It's not good on anybody, but it always
happens.
It doesn't even matter.
I mean, I do feel like some of it is from like brushing your teeth and then putting wet product on and then like
100%.
but then like how do you explain like 5 hours later?
Listen, I don't know. I don't have the answers, and maybe it's because we're doing this all day.
Probably.
That has to be what it is, right?
I mean, lip scrubs are good, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like it inevitably, I do think it is a lip gloss thing. I think lip gloss does it.
I feel like for a while there, everybody was doing like a matte lip, and it was like, you know why?
And now we're not, and now we're back to gloss.
We've moved on to gloss.
We're back to gloss again.
We're back to gloss.
I think that's what makes it chunky. I do.
What is your top? I mean, for me, I think it's hard for me to say 3 things. I'm definitely like a 5 things girl.
I'm gonna go with brows, even though mine are microbladed. I'm still gonna say brows.
I feel like you and I, like when we've just been out and about and like we're just like running around doing shit, like you're like, I have my brows on.
I have my brows on. At the very least. I love brows.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I'm mixed between concealer and foundation because I can lay down a foundation just like a concealer. So that's a double use. I would rather have like a medium buildable foundation that I can use as a concealer. So that would be
true.
You know what I mean? Like you could use.
But
like,
I do think that like part of it is like what your concerns are, like what your, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, one of my concerns is like, I feel like I have like the darkest under eye circles of all time.
She doesn't, but
I actually do.
We'll entertain it because
I actually do, guys.
She actually doesn't, but it's fine.
But that is like, you know, and like the girls who get it. Like, you know, it's like when you feel like your under eyes are dark, it's like, it's not enough to just use foundation. It's not.
I know. Even Estee Lauder, you don't think like double wear, you could like pack it on? I feel like you could.
I feel like I wear a pretty full coverage foundation, and I still like.
But that's you being paranoid.
I pack that on, and then I'm like, you know, like I still have to.
A lot of that's routine though too, because that's what you're used to seeing and doing, and all the things. You know, I don't know. I would say brows, foundation is a must. I mean. Are we given moisturizer in this scenario? Is that like
no,
we're not?
I'm not even. I mean, for me at least, I'm not even included.
I mean, are we given that as like that in our everyday regimen, and then we get to pick 3 items? Because I would want to have moisturizer, but I just feel like that's probably not like.
But I feel like
an essential.
Like that for different people. It's like some people
oily, dry,
like,
right?
Some people are like it has to be a moisturizer.
I don't know. It's just so complicated to pick like just a couple of things.
And also, like, what are your favorite products? Like, I feel like
how many people ask us that?
Concealer. I really do. You put me on to the Charlotte Tilbury concealer. And
See, and I don't like that one.
I'm obsessed with that.
Well, because it works for you.
Gives the right amount of coverage. Like,
and her under eyes look great. So there it is.
I mean, you're right.
I mean, I am in love with you, so I don't really count.
We're in love.
But you do get compliments like everywhere. So I don't know. Concealer-wise, I like NARS.
You do.
I love NARS because it's full coverage and it's creamy, so you have time to like Charlotte is liquid, so it's like you have to work pretty quick. With NARS is like creamy, so you have a little more time.
I feel like foundation is like ever changing.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
I feel like we
change all the time.
Yes, we change all the time. Like you're wearing something and then you change, and it's so weird. Like I feel like you and I both notice when we've changed something. We're like, oh, you look different.
Oh my God, what'd you do? And then
I love the Hourglass. Whatever you've
I know you
lately,
do.
The Hourglass foundation. I love that on you.
I know. I do feel like my threads are really moving right along as well. So it's just like all a combo. It's just like having a good face isn't easy. It's just, you know, I have to live with this.
It's a combination. Like
it's a combination.
I think it's like all the things combined.
Agreed.
You know what trend I'm glad to see that's kind of dying out? And I don't know what I'm talking about.
Speak to your trends.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but the little they take the eyebrows, they get them long, and they like comb them up. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a laminated.
I hate to tell you, but that's not out.
It's not out.
Trending a little bit. Yeah.
Well,
laminated.
Was your wife doing this? I would be very careful. Tread lightly.
No.
Okay.
No.
No, she's not brushing hers up. Good job. White chocolate's wife.
I like a laminated brow, but it has to be on somebody who has like a really
for sure
thick, beautiful brow.
It can look very aggressive.
Yeah.
Very aggressive. I mean, I do like that look, but I also will comb it up and then bring it over so it looks a little more like yours are. Yours are perfect.
And I did do that this morning.
Yeah.
But then I'm like so just like in filling them in, I can't. Like I did it for a little while. Remember,
yes.
I did it for a little while.
Yeah.
I just like slicked it up and then would go back in, but it just doesn't seem right.
I love a laminated brow.
I don't know. I think if you do minimal makeup, laminated brow,
it's
like,
serving you. Right. Because you do have that like shine to it, and it's like, no, I agree with you on that.
But for me, I'm like, why are you like full face beat everywhere else, and then you've got
natural brows?
Yeah.
No, I agree. Or if you have a lot of hair there, it looks like a little bit crazy.
Right.
You know? But I do love it. I don't think it's going out. I think it depends. I don't know.
I think once again, it's like so personal. That's the thing about makeup. It's like so personal to the person. Like,
but that's why it's great that we're in a business where it's like pretty much everybody wants to be Hailey Bieber, or they want to be slayed and laid like, I can't think of one right now, but like someone who wears a shit ton of makeup, like Kim K, you know?
100%.
And that's not natural, just FYI. I just want to look like this. And you're like, no.
Can we talk about sanitation and...
Oh, sanitation, yeah. How do we want to... Okay. So...
I feel like you need
to... I mean, I do think it's important also because of brides and like having a kid at home of your own, like knowing when to like rotate certain things out. But we were on a wedding this weekend past. We won't name names, but... You know, as seasoned artists, like you do see things.
It's all out.
I'm trying to.
As seasoned
artists. We're seasoned. Been doing this a long time. You know, there is a process of like sanitizing and making sure your client is safe and making sure you're not mixing brushes and using, you know, one's conjunctivitis on the next person, et cetera, et cetera. I do feel like we saw a little bit of no sanitizing happen this weekend, and I literally lost my shit. Like I've
never seen you so bothered about.
I was so bothered. I got
so bothered.
I stomped my way out of the venue. I was so mad.
Like literally an hour into our car ride back, you were like, I mean, I can't believe. Like I was like, you are very triggered by this entire experience.
Because your client is trusting you, and you should know. Like they're not going to know better. You should know better. That is like the worst thing that you can do, honestly. I feel like that's disgusting.
I feel like why it was so triggering is because
you know why.
You know why would we ever be able to show up and be that slack and get the standing
and get away with it?
It was the standing ovation for me.
And literal, they got a standing ovation when they were done with makeup. Like 15-minute makeups. Which I wouldn't even call that 15-minute makeup. I would call it 15-minute eyes because there was nothing else on the face, number one.
Sure was 15-minute makeup.
I mean, it might have been less. The first girl, I think, took 7.
Well, that's even worse.
But my point with the timing is, okay, whatever. Like, you're the 15-minute makeup artist. But when you're, like, between clients, I have, like, 4,000 brushes. Sorry, but, like, I do. And so I'm just, like, throwing the dirty ones in a bag and just, like, pulling out the new ones for the next client. Not everybody has that luxury. So everyone else who doesn't have 4,000 brushes has to clean and sanitize in between clients. You have to clean your brushes. You have to, put alcohol on your eyeshadows, et cetera, et cetera. None of that was being done. None of it. And they still got, oh, my God, great. Oh, you're amazing. And I'm like... What fucked up world am I in right now? I was so pissed off.
You know, the thing for me too is like, why is it always like that? Those situations happen, and we are there in the trenches, cranking out hair. Do you know what I mean? Like
that was just like it was just so many.
And
things.
no one cared.
No one cared. We did not get a standing ovation. However, we should have gotten a standing ovation because
everybody was like, "Oh my God, it looks so good." I mean, every person that got out of the chair.
We should not identify.
But it was amazing.
No, it was amazing.
It was.
It was amazing. Like we were doing Hollywood waves left and right, and it took like no time.
Yeah.
And that is an impossible style to do quickly. You know how if you've watched previous episodes, you know how we feel about Hollywood waves. But
I mean, I think the thing for me is not even just a Hollywood wave. It was like the amount of hair that everybody had. It was a lot.
So
to walk away from that where somebody like literally showed up with like one little tiny case, maybe like a couple paint pots.
There was like 10 brushes, I think, total.
10 brushes, no sanitation.
No
to
sanitation.
Walk out of that, like I literally was like, I hate it here.
I was disgusted. I was like, literally, I don't think I've ever stomped out of a wedding before. I feel like I've gotten upset, like, because I didn't get like, oh my God, you're so amazing, because they got sidetracked and busy. But like this time I was livid. Like, just because I'm like,
it's like
that our brides would never stand for that. They would be like, oh my God. How many times are they like, are you guys gonna like, are you using the mascara one that goes in the tube, or are you gonna use a disposable? Obviously disposable. Those are great questions to ask. You should have been asking that last weekend.
Correct.
The end. Love Jen, because I'm done.
I have to chalk it up to like maybe she just didn't know.
She's seasoned, y'all. She's seasoned. I know she's seasoned.
They didn't know any better, but it's like when you have like a large bridal party like that, I just can't think that like nobody's gotten their hair and makeup done at an
Or best laid plans. Like, honestly, you should have said, okay, between each client, I'm going to have to sanitize, so I need a 30-minute window. And I would have been like, okay, at least she's taking control and she's sanitizing between.
Yes.
She's not. She's like, okay, as the one's getting up, I'm ready for the next one. And I'm like, what do you mean? Those brushes have products on it. Gross. Gross.
It was very gross.
And by the way, the makeup was not. For the hair that we did.
I felt like it wasn't
no
terrible.
Shade, but also shade.
It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like. But also, like, why?
It wasn't standing ovation worthy.
It wasn't standing ovation worthy, but also, why would it be amazing? It only took, like, what, 10 minutes, 15 minutes per person?
I was dying.
It's not going to be amazing.
I was so mad. I, like, literally slammed the car door.
I feel like as vendors, we have days like that where we, like, leave and we're like, ready to just slice a vein and drive off the cliff at Charlottesville. It's like,
but hopefully, like, things like this, like, hopefully if you're listening, like, it draws attention to, like, these are the questions you need to be asking. You need to make sure that people are sanitizing, make sure that they're clean, their kit looks clean. It's not all musty, dusty, you know, there's dirty brushes thrown on top, because I am anal with my stuff.
You are.
I'm anal. And I mean, that might be too much.
All your caps. I'm very funny about my lids. Like a touch of OCD.
I do. And sound
familiar?
familiar?
Apparently so does white chocolate. So
I'm crazy about my lids. I am. But I mean, for a reason. But I'm just that way. But it's like, I don't want to be. It was all of it, okay? It was all of it. It was like coming in late. It was like the nonchalant.
Vomit right now. You're like,
I was just so mad.
I've never seen you so bothered before, and you were very bothered. Because that's how I know. I mean, the thing is like I feel like at the end of the day, that just shows like that you care. You know?
Yes.
I think that when you stop caring, you do start doing things like that.
I mean, I do feel like, you know, these are questions that brides and clients are asking. Like, how are you sanitizing? Like, we're sanitizing fully to the fullest between every single client.
Right.
We're sanitizing when we get home. I'm deep cleaning once a week of my brushes, and it's a process.
As we saw on IG.
As you saw on Instagram.
I kind of felt like, was that shade?
It was.
I feel like it was kind
of. It was a little shade. Did you like golden hour with the sparkles?
I did.
I know. I was like.
This is very shady.
I'm like, on Mondays we clean brushes. She does not do that.
So shady.
She does not do that. She's like, I don't ever clean my brushes.
I mean, but I think that like maybe what you could like, I don't know, to like bring it all together is like, how much did she pay?
A lot.
You know, for the makeup that was being done. Because I think that
that's fair.
I think that goes into it.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
I think that like if you're hiring us, you're paying a certain price, but that's because you're
experience
showing up,
right.
And you have all the things. So maybe it was cheaper. I don't know.
Let this just
Which
be.
is fine.
This
like
is
if that's in your budget, it's fine. But
that's
like,
fine.
I still think that like the sanitation part, like you said, like
it doesn't matter.
That part,
like educate yourself. If you're listening to this and this is you and you're like, oh my goodness, like I don't do that. Okay, well do your research and look into it. And I know it sounds like so trivial, but it's like. I mean, these are things that, like, you can cause someone to have pink eye. Cross-contamination is real.
Between someone coming back and be like, you know, I have this on my lip.
You just gave me a herpes.
Right. I have herpes now.
Or I had COVID on a brush. And, like, you're like.
My eyeball.
Right. You know, ew. That's what
God, when you did the. That is the visual.
That's how I feel. I'm like, I'm watching that and I'm like, you literally just put a herpes on someone. I don't know if that's how it works, but
perfect.
In my mind, it's like you dipped a herpes and placed a herpes.
100% sure that is how that works for herpes.
Do you guys like working with clients that like, I want a very specific, like, I would like to look like this? Is that easier? Or is it easier for someone to go, my face is a blank canvas?
Oh, no one ever says that.
You know, nobody ever, I feel like those.
We get creative, right? Sometimes with hair, I would say more than makeup. People are pretty specific.
Right.
Gotcha.
I mean, I feel like with makeup, most people are very neurotic about how they want their makeup done.
Yeah. Or they'll see a photo and they'll be like, I just want this. It's just natural. And it's a literal picture of like Khloe Kardashian at an Indian wedding. And you're like, okay, well, that's not natural. But you give them that and they go, I just feel like it's a lot of makeup.
100%.
And you're just like.
I think 99% of the time that is. Or you have to like have the conversation of like, you're showing me this, but this is lashes. This is a full coverage foundation.
Right.
It's all the things.
It's all the things.
So,
Free reign doesn't really happen when it comes to makeup. I would
love
say,
that.
me
I
too.
mean, I had that recently, and I was really happy because it does take
Your creative juices stop. It's like
Yeah.
you just want to be, like, you want to give them what looks good on them. And, like, when you have creative right, you can do that. Like, maybe they're hell-bent on they've got a brown eye and they want brown eyeshadow. And you're like, wait, but, like, if you did this, if there was a little champagne in there, it would look really pretty. And they're like, no, I don't want that.
At the end of the day, it gives them the best result when they do.
I agree.
Just trust you and just let you do your thing. But
yeah.
that doesn't really happen.
Or, like, after the hair is done and they're like, or at the end and they're like, what do you think? Should I do this or should I do like this? And you're like, you should do this.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, but that's you.
What?
I will be like, Sade, no, you will ask me something like, do you think I should do this or this? And I'll be like, you should do this. And you'll be like, actually, I'm going to do that.
And also, I got called out by my 9-year-old the other day for that.
That is you.
Mommy, she was like, you always ask and
you
don't
never
end up doing it. She was like, you always do the opposite of whatever I say.
Every single time you ask me something and I tell you, you do the exact opposite. So,
I
do
feel
not.
like you are the same, though.
I really am not, but it's fine. It's okay.
I feel like you are.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm definitely not.
Okay, I was trying to convince you that you.
I'm not. It's you. The problem. Hi, you're the problem.
You're like, it actually is not. It
is. No, and actually, you are the problem.
Hey,
Taylor made a song about it.
It is. I'm the problem. Hello, it's me.
It's me. You're the problem. You are. But I feel like they'll be like, do you think I should do like this or like this? And you're like this, and they're like, oh, I don't think so. And then I'm like, I'm gonna start using reverse psychology. I'm gonna be like, you should do this, and then they're like, no, and I'll be like, yes.
The thing about that is like that is the one thing that pisses me off to hear that I do that all the time. And
you do.
That is what pisses me off at work. I hate that so much.
And you are. You are the
I
queen.
And I freaking do it.
You're the freaking queen of it. She'll be like, okay, tomorrow this is what I'm wearing. Do you think I should do this shirt or this shirt? And I'll be like, oh my God, dude, Exhibit A, we were gonna both wear hats today, and this bitch shows up without a hat.
Because I think in my mind...
Because she was sabotaging me because she wanted me to look ugly and you get to look pretty.
It's like in my mind, I think that I want someone else's like second opinion, but in reality, I don't really want anyone's second opinion. But
in reality, you don't care. That's what it is.
In reality, I don't care.
Right.
But it makes me feel better because it's like...
It's a fact. It's a fact. Right.
But I actually...
Good to know. 9 years of friendship, and this is what I'm just learning.
Well, maybe
she doesn't care.
Using reverse psychology.
Maybe I need new friends.
And if you do, will it work? And let me know if it does.
I will. You know what? I will.
I want to know.
Because you're gonna do the opposite.
It's exact. You're right. I do whatever
you do.
Say, I always do the opposite.
It's insane, but it's everything. I don't know. Do you think I should go this way or that way? Oh, I'm gonna go.
And then I'm like, no. I'm just gonna no.
Right.
The opposite.
No, you will do that at work too. You'll be like, Jen, you do.
I do.
Every wedding, you'll be like, Jen, what do you think? Do you think she should do a braid or do you think she should do this? And I'll be like, oh my God, she should do the braid. And you're like, actually, no, I don't. And I'm like, why did you ask my motherfucking opinion? And it's every single time.
Listen, the psychotic part of me thinks that I want an opinion, but in all reality,
I don't want anything from you.
I don't want an opinion.
I don't.
And I am sorry.
No, it's fine. Hey, we all have our stuff.
I do love you.
You really are. You know, I thought I was controlling, but I feel like you might be a little more controlling than me.
I for sure am very controlling. I own that. I am very
controlling. That's good. As artists, that's a really good thing.
I mean, I think, like, at the end of the day, that is good as artists.
Oh,
I mean,
for sure.
If you're the creative, like, you should listen to us.
I mean,
right. We see people's faces all the time, so we know it's going to look good. And it ain't going to be the freaking braid into the bun.
I'm done. I'm not even going to give you my opinion anymore. I quit. I'm not.
Guys, I'm sorry.
It sounds dramatic. I'm over. I'm mad about the hat. It's just what it is. I'm still mad about the hat. I can't help it. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm spiraling. I just know that it's on the front seat and she didn't put it on. It was a whole freaking conversation, but
spiraling from the hat.
Exactly. And you were like, what do you want to do? Should we do hats? Oh my God, great. Hello, Exhibit A. Don't give Sade your opinion.
Out here, I feel like
you feel like you're being abused. I'm sorry.
I'm staying out of this one.
Rude. Listen, so rude.
I think that going back to what we're talking about.
Yeah, sorry. We got off on a tangent. Sorry.
I think that we always say you should listen to your vendors. That never happens. We prefer to have creative freedom, but that doesn't really ever happen.
It doesn't really ever happen.
It doesn't.
I mean, I do think, let's just like take a few messages away from today. Like
Sanitize your
freaking brushes. Cause like I'm stewing. That and the hat have got me going. That's all I gotta say. Those two things, I'm
you guys don't see
raging. It's just an empty fucking chair with a hat sitting on it.
Purchased a blow up doll that's like me that you just prop in the chair.
No, I swear it's Sade. It's her. It'll be Zach sitting there. I'll be like, no. I do think like just like please care about your stuff. Please care about your clients. It is honestly if your client isn't noticing these things, and no shade on the client, it's because she doesn't know any better, and it's your job to keep your client safe. I'm sorry. I'm not going to pick up a herpy off you and put it on.
Just keep your client safe.
Keep your client safe. She picked up a herpy and put it on.
Keep your client safe.
I'm telling you, she picked up a herpy and she put it on someone else. That herpy is now on like 8 people because it.
That's a story that we have not heard. That's a story we haven't heard.
What?
The herpes. Like, have we had like a bride or anybody that contracted something? I haven't heard about that.
No, I have not. I've never heard that, but I think that I've just always been sanitary. I don't know.
If you were like herping, you wouldn't be.
If someone
you were having a. How do you say that?
Like a herpy? I don't know. In my mind, it's like a little worm that you're just like you're in the with a little worm on there. I don't know. Have I seen that? No. If I saw that, I would probably pass away because like
maybe like what is it? Like the
cold sore.
That herpes?
I mean, I don't know the technical terms.
I feel like I've seen that.
To me, a herpy is like something going on down there. But I think it is like a form of herpes.
We can fact check this. I am 1,000% sure.
This is herpes. Then I have had a client
having a cold.
I've had a cold sore.
Like,
I don't, but I'm not dipping with my makeup brushes in it.
Clients and viewers out there, I am 100% sure that is like a herpes situation.
Jesus Christ.
A cold sore. It's a herpes situation.
I'm not going to tell her either way because she's just going to.
I mean, you
deny it.
Very impressed by my smart.
You're very sexy. I tell you that every day. But it's
very
not. You're talking about a herpes.
I mean, I feel like I say the dumbest stuff ever, and you're like,
you're a genius.
You're like, you're so smart.
You're
I'm
so
like,
intelligent.
I've literally heard no one ever say that in my entire life.
You are, but you're also ditzy. That is a running
joke in my family that I actually am blonde and I'm very ditzy.
No, I think it's adorable. But
you do think I'm very smart enough.
You are very smart. I mean, I forget where we were.
Go to a Mexican restaurant and bust out a little Spanish and you're like, oh my gosh.
No, I think the first time we hung out in a Mexican place, it was like she got wasted and it was so funny because you were going around hugging people and then they started talking in Spanish and you were like, and I'm like, how long have you known Spanish? You're like, all my life.
Shout out to my dad, everyone. If you were raised in the house.
Tony Taylor, what up?
We love you. If you were raised in the house that I was raised in, you know Spanish.
Yeah. What were we talking about? We were talking about, herpes.
Herping.
Herpying. Herpying.
The word that is not true.
No.
Herpying.
I'm pretty sure I have had a bride that had a canker sore and was like, just to let you know, like I have a canker sore.
Mouth.
What is the one that's like here?
It's a blister. It's a cold sore blister.
Whatever. I'm pretty sure, but she told me she had it, and I avoided the area. But I still wasn't like dipping in and like going to my next person, like
I mean, just out of curiosity, like how would you address that?
Do tell. I definitely dipped a disposable lip wand with Vaseline and put that shit on there because I was like, I don't want to
cover it though.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, also you're working off of a palette, so you're dipping that and you're dipping the brushes. You're like, you're not cross-contaminating anything. You're just working from a palette, like a metal palette, not a eye palette.
Can it just be like disinfected, or do you feel like you would just like?
I would avoid that area altogether.
Okay.
Yeah.
PSA.
From one herpy to another.
Herping.
That's all I kept thinking all day was the herpy. That's all. The herpy and the COVID on the brushes that she was just like, next. Oh, here you go. You also get a herpy. Like, no, disgusting. That's our message. This message is from us to you. Please clean your shit.
Yes, that is correct.
Another t-shirt made.
Hashtag
clean your shit.
Clean your shit.
No, it's so important to like disinfect. I just can't stress it enough. And in the beginning, I may not have been the best. I might not have. I might have,
I think that like comes with experience. Also, clean yourself.
Also, you're older and we know you've been doing this a while, so we know you know better. But anyways, and I mean, I'm sorry, but that like it just rubbed me so wrong. Much like the hat that's sitting on my front seat. It's fine. Everything's cool. We're not mad. We're fine.
I will wear the hat the next episode.
Join us.
Just so that you feel better about it.
Join us next time where there is no Sade and it's just me. Boring.
It's me. It's like, and you're like,
and I'm gonna put a herpy. I'm gonna put a little herpy, like a little herpy on you. Today we're talking about sanitizing on a blow up doll. Oh, why are we so dumb? So gross. No, it's gross.
Herpy.
I mean, it's fine. We all make mistakes, but it is important to sanitize, and I will stress that over and over and over and over and over.
Do you stress it?
Stressed it.
Over and over and over.
I did.
You're so smart.
I am. With age comes wisdom, bitch. And I'm old, so.
I love that you just own that. You're like, I am.
I'm wise. I'm not smart. I'm wise. You know, it's like you got to learn things along the way.
Wise.
Wise is good.
Wise automatically makes you seem very old.
I just got carded.
You just got
And
carded today.
I'm
so
fine.
You're on a high.
I'm on a high. You're right.
Carded.
I know, but I have not carded before, and I hate it. What the fuck? I don't know, but I feel like I'm wise. You know, and I mean, no, I don't want to insult people. I think this should inspire people to do the right thing.
For sure.
And
I feel like at the end of the day, the takeaway is clean your stuff.
Clean your stuff.
Clean your shit.
Clean your shit on a t-shirt.
That is the takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's insulting. I mean, I definitely think it's
insulting
something
either.
that needs to be talked about. Some people just don't know.
And it should resonate with brides as well. It's kind of like, what questions do I need to be asking? These are the questions that you should be addressing. You should
Or
be
at
saying
your
these
trial.
things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at your trial.
Make sure you're paying attention.
If something doesn't feel right, then it isn't right, and maybe you just remember that thought and did your makeup artist do this or did your hairstylist do this?
Right.
There's so many things, and don't be afraid to ask us questions because you don't know. It is your first time. It is your first time getting married, or it's your second, whatever. No judgment, but ask these questions.
I think that you hit the nail on the head.
I want to bring boop back. Boop, or is it gloop? What was it? That
Boop.
boop. Oh, I loved being boop. Nobody boops me anymore.
I'm sorry.
I know, it's kind of sad. Boop. We're so
I'll
dumb.
boop you.
I'll boop you. Maybe not.
I feel like, why does it always go into an after hours?
I don't know.
Maybe that's what needs to happen. Do we need to do an after hours? I think that would be very entertaining.
I think that would be fun too. I think we should do an episode in the evening or at night. Is that what you're saying? At nighttime, different time of the day?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the time
Do
of day
people do?
matters.
Oh.
I retract my statement about Jen being very smart. You literally, I'm just so wise.
I know. Do you mean what time? Is 9 p.m.?
Actually, come in after 9, right?
After dark. You meant I know what you meant. I'm so dumb. I'm sorry. I said
episode will be after hours.
Halloween
It'll be all
episode.
the ratchet
Shout out to
stuff
White
that
Chocolate for that idea because we've already found our outfits.
I love that. It will be a sexy moment.
It will be a sexy moment, sex kitten moment. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the people today?
Sanitation.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's I think we hit all the key points. Maybe get a couple sets of brushes.
Yeah.
Make sure you're sanitizing in between, and I think that's the real. That's it. That's all you can really say.
Yeah. I mean, as the client, just know that you can ask questions and make
from
sure,
a client perspective, make sure you're paying attention to people.
Right.
Exactly.
If they're late, they're not the one. If they're not answering your emails, they're not the one. There's just so many things. But if you're not, if they don't look clean, they're not clean. The end.
I don't know.
They're riding with a car full of herpy family.
Right.
Their herpy family is in the back.
Family.
Herpy family. They're all in the kits, about to be set on your face.
That is correct.
It's not that hard to be clean.
It's not that hard to be clean. It's
The
not.
T-shirt. # It's
Not
not that
hard to be clean. And then on the back, it could be dirty. I love that. It isn't that hard, though. It's not. It's really, really not. I mean, do you put deodorant on in the day? Do you take a shower? It's as simple as that. And it's I'm done raging, but I will say I just wanted this message to come across because I feel like no matter if you're a client, if you're a vendor, if you're at home and you're a mom and you're doing, please, like, you can't use the same mascara for 2 years. You can't use the same brush over and over and over and over on yourself until it's like, do you clean your toilets? Do you clean your sink?
Time. I mean, we do. Like,
Yeah.
people bring their personal stuff in, and they're like, you can use my brush, and it's like,
No.
the shit has been chewed up by your dog. Like,
Exactly.
It looks terrible.
There's a Cheeto in there. Like, yes.
A Cheeto.
Just
Half the bristles are gone. It's
bless
like,
their hearts.
please just go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
Go to your local store.
Yeah.
Get a new Real Techniques brush.
Yes.
And start.
And you know what? You're younger than me, but like over time stuff like it does evolve and you start realizing these things. It's like
Yeah.
the better you treat yourself and your skin, and it all starts there. It's like the better your outcome's going to be with beauty. So if your stuff is clean and you're taking care of it, the better result you're going to have.
For sure.
The Cheeto dust or the
Listen, or the brush
Dog-
that's been
dog
chewed up
spit.
by Milo.
oh,
Not Milo, because
hi Milo.
because your son is Milo.
Oh, that was kind of shady.
I feel like that's your like
but
what
also
you always say when we're at weddings. You're
is
always
that
like
people say dogs are
Milo,
named.
and it's a
That's
dog.
fine. We can bring Milo in. Milo is meaty. He is my son, and he is perfect. Anyways,
Love you,
but yes, if the dog has been chewing on your makeup brush, these are all reasons. Like now, if you're like a hoarder and you don't care and you live in filth, like okay, use your dirty brushes, enjoy. You're probably not leaving the house, so it's fine. But like yes, these are all like no matter what kind of person you are, if you're a man, woman, whatever you're doing with makeup, please clean your shit. That's all we ask. And certainly,
simple. I
we
mean,
should not be at a
simple.
venue that is like top dollar and seeing a makeup artist doing that. Like, literally, that took me out.
There's more commentary on that, but
Yeah, we're leaving it.
We're
Leaving it. We're leaving it here. We're dropping the mic.
dropping it here.
Yeah, because fuel. So join us next time.
Right.
Where Sade is no longer a part, and there will be a blow up doll in her place. So it'll be this one. I'm gonna put a pickle in there. I'm gonna put a big old pickle in there, and a hat.
Can you put the mic in there?
Like I put the mic in there, and I'm gonna put the hat on you. And it'll be like it's like she's here. She's been here all along.
I love that.
I know you would still
be funny.
I would actually love to have a blow up doll of you. I'd like put it in the car, like bring it all around.
I feel like Scott would be like, "What is actually happening?" Like
On the window, just like looking out the window like this. Be like in the carpool lane, like what? This bitch is with me. She's like, so dumb.
I
Anyway,
would love that. I
You
would love
would?
to have one of you as well. That would
my
be
God.
funny. I bet somebody is actually out there really doing that.
someone is actually making one right now of us.
Can you do that?
I don't know. I mean,
Can
I
you
feel like
have,
I've seen.
a personal blow up doll. Do we think that that's like
I'm
a real
pretty sure I've seen something like that.
and it's like
But
you can
I feel like it
actually
was
use the person's face.
very like lifelike. It wasn't like the blow up. You know, it was more like an actual. It was more like an actual.
What?
Yes, it was like not a robot, but like it was like it was made of plastic.
I feel like I know where this is going.
I feel like we're gonna listen. We don't have a lot of time left, so we're not gonna touch on the blow up dolls that are actually human like. But we will do our research and get back to you next time because, yes, I'm pretty sure I saw an episode where they pulled one out of a box and it was like,
Was it like
no, it wasn't like that. It was like
stiff?
Yes. Wasn't that on Jersey Shore? Do you remember seeing that? I feel like they had one or something.
I don't
Anyways,
remember.
but
that was a long time ago. I don't
like if you touch them, it would feel like skin, and they were like heavy, like 100 pounds. I don't have one. If I did, I would
feel
let
like
you
you're
know.
Very knowledgeable about this. I have questions.
Listen, that's for another day. I know it's like we keep saying like all of these like on the pole and like riding the motorcycles and all that is another day. So we have a lot of things to talk about and like not a lot of time. Zach wants to say something. He's bursting at the seams.
No, I'm just trying to wrap my head around blow up dolls and kind of just in general.
Like who would do? Like, just get a human. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
Yeah, no words.
Out there for somebody. Somebody likes them, I guess.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that they looked like the person. Like it was like God, I can't remember. It might have been at the end of a porn. I'm not sure, but it was.
I feel like I don't know where you saw this,
But it was like maybe it was like.
I have questions.
Do you remember back in the day, and there was a show called you know what it was on? Something Taboo.
You're right. Oh,
Remember? And it was like
wait, it was what was the True Life?
yes, it was that.
It was True Life.
And
You're
there
right.
were.
Oh my God, you're right. It was.
I love to be right.
True Life.
I'm telling you, and they were actual like they came in a box as big as a human.
And it was life.
And it wasn't just a box; it was like a warehouse box that they had to
that was
take
like
the
giant, and it was like yes, like you said,
yes,
skin light.
yes, and it wasn't. It was like it looked like you,
It looked yes. Oh my God.
and it was like enclosed.
How did I like out of my brain on that one?
That
You're
show.
right. It was a True Life episode.
That I was like that could substitute for a human. Honestly, it could. I mean, maybe that's.
I love how we now.
Do they make men ones? Do they make men ones?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
I would have a few designs.
I mean,
Can we come out with the male versions of?
moral of the story, guys, is
Sade will not be here next week, so she's been replaced by her
And-
human-sized blow-up doll.
keep your stuff clean.
Yes, keep your. We go off on tangents. It's just who we are. It can't be
Keep your
helped.
stuff clean.
Keep your stuff clean. Know who you're
We
hiring.
don't have just 3 favorites because we do a whole
I
face.
know that was a dumb idea. Sorry.
But do you?
Do you?
And yeah.
And we'll see you next time because
And
we
we'll
love
see
you
on the naughty episode.
on the Naughty After Dark
Hours.
episode that happens at 9 p.m.
Correct. Should we
Yeah.
cheers?
Yeah, let's cheers.
For you.
Such a wise episode. Good job, everybody.
Thank you, darling.